Good morning students and welcome back to your chapter number 13. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the classification of xerophytes. Okay, so they are classified on the basis of morphology, physiology and water storage adaptabilities. Okay, so xerophytes can be categorized into three heads. Okay, so first is your amphimorsals, or we can say a dwarfed escaping plant. Okay, so what is ephemeral is they are short-lived plants that survive in the form of seed with thick and hard seed coat in the form of fruit which thick pericarp during extreme dry seasons. So they are generally known as epimarals. Okay. Now, so we having some examples like bryophyllum, yes, opentia, aloe. So these are the general examples of epimarcals plants. Okay, so generally they live in a very short period of time. Now next we having succulent or xerophyte, or we can say drought resisting xerophytes. So those plants which grow in xeric habitat and possesses a high water storage region of inner parenchymatous tissues, they are called succulents. Okay, so generally they exhibit or they store water storage region is inner parenchymatous tissue. Clear? Now example again we having aloe, agrave, catiscus. Okay, these are the following examples. Now, so this is about the succulent. Now next we having non succulent. Now this type of plant require small quantities of water for their survival, means very less amount of water they need to require. Okay, so on the basis of the water they have classified in following groups. Now we will talk about adaptation of xerophytes. Okay, which type of adaptation is found? Some species features are found in xerophytes in other morphologically, anatomically and physiologically characters to tolerate extreme drought or the water deficiency condition. That features are collectively termed as xerophytic region or adaptation, right? So let's talk about the morphologically adaptation. Morphologically adaptation means xerophyte have well developed and extensively branched long root system, means they have long root system. Okay, the root system is generally longer than short system. Clear? So that is why, or the root hairs plays a very important role. So root hairs are dense near and growing point and may occur even at some older parts of root and thus comparatively persisting in nature. Clear? Now this is according to the morphologically responses. Okay, now morphologically responses or adaptation in stem, means what is the role of stem? Okay, this is the role of root. Now on the basis of stem, the stem of woody xerophytes are comparatively stern and hard and rigid. Okay, they may be covered with a thick bark. Okay, and stem may occur as underground modified structure to store food and take part in the reproduction. For example, we have escarvum. This is the name of your plant. Now let's talk about the morphological responses on the adaptation in the basis of leaves. So leaves, if present, usually are short size, which decreases the change of getting over hot when exposed to strong solar radiation, and thus help by the reducing the rate of the transpiration. Clear? Now example again we having aloe and agrave, yucca. These are the following examples. Okay, now this is morphologically. Now anatomically responses or adaptation. Okay, so anatomically means the epidermis of xerophyte plant's organ is covered by thick cuticle. It protect plant against heavy transpiration and also provide a mechanical strength to some extent. Okay, or epidermis may be multiplied layer which also reduce the rate of transpiration. Clear? Yes. So we having many types of examples. You can see here, right? We having many types of examples according to this. Now, let's talk about physiological responses or adaptation. So, physiological means due to the presence of solute in higher concentration in the cell shape of xerophytic plant. The osmotic pressure of the cytoplasm is comparatively very high and hence cells absorb more water. Okay, so due to high osmotic pressure, protoplasm of xerophytes can survive even after the loss of 10 to 25% of water from it. Okay, means they absorb water. Okay, next we having halophytes, or we can say mangroves. Okay, so what is halophytes? Halophytes or mangrove, they are in marshy area like seacoast and delta. The soil contain very high concentration of salt like NaCl, MgSO4, MgCl2, etc. Okay, and therefore it is known as saline soil. So some plants are able to grow in such soil. These plants are known as halophytes or mangrove plant. Clear? Now, adaptation of mangrove plants to salinity. Okay, so how they adapt? So first is a fixation. Okay, means root system are generally shallow if a plant is herbaceous. Okay, so and if large the base of the trunk of trees bear butterless roots that provide sufficient mechanism that supports to the plant. Clear? Or we can say xerophytic structure. If they having xerophytic structure, so stem is some halophytes and succulent. Due to storage of water and mucilaginous in them, in these plant salt tolerance is directly proportional to degree of succulent. Clear? Yes. Now they can easy dispersal, or they are vivipary germination. Vivipary germination means seed started germinate when they remain attached to the plant, and this nodes of the stimuli generation, that is called viviparous. Clear? Yes. So on the basis of, we can see here we having many viviparous examples in man, like rhizophora. This is the best example of viviparous in mangrove plant. Yes. Now, so next we will talk about the strategies of adaptation in animal. What are the strategies? Animal also shows adaptation for adjusting themselves to different environment and conditions for their survival to complete the flourish. So in animal, adaptation may be occurs by their behavioral, right? So by behavior. So let's talk with behavior adaptation. Behavior means some animal adapt to protect themselves by changing their behavior. So according to that is called behavioral adaptation. Okay, so we having the first, that is estivation. Estivation means the state of torpor or inactivity of animal that takes place during hot dry period, as in summer, that is called estivation. Clear? Yes. Next we having camouflage. Camouflage means that is to ability of organism to blend with the surrounding or background, that is called camouflage. Like elephant, lion, tiger, these are all the examples of camouflage. Clear? Now, yes, mimicry. Now next we having mimicry. Mimicry means it is resemble of organism with other organisms or inform color behavior to escape the predator notice. Okay, means on the basis of their color we can easily notice this type of animals. Clear? Yes. Now here is some difference between is given between camouflage and mimicry. You can see. Yes. Now next we having hibernation. Hibernation means wintry. Okay, so it is a kind of adaptation of passing the winter in a resting, or we can say in a dominating condition, that is called a winter sleep. Means at the time of winter they usually used to sleep. Okay. Now migration. Migration means to transfer, means according to their atmospherically reason or their adaptation, they can go from one place to another. The movement of individual of a population, right? That is okay. So it is of the three types, means types of migrants we can see. Okay, migration, the word is also related with the transfer, right? So we having types of migration. So first is daily migration, means those types of animal which go daily from different places in their daily life. Now periodic migration means after some time, okay, according to their capacities of the habitat. है ना. So in this way means they depend and they will see means after some time they do the migration. Or we can say next we having seasonal migration. Seasonal means like winters came they will shift their place, summer came they will shift their place, means according to the reason. Okay, and the last we having long distance migration. Long distance means like from one place to another, means they travel it travels a distance like 17,600 kilometer every year from North Pole to yes, Antarctica and back, right. So in this way they having very types of adaptations. Okay, now next let us talk about the population interaction. Okay, population interactions. So most of the ecologists have chosen the term symbiosis to include and denote the interaction among plants. So literally symbiosis means living together, right. So on the basis of symbiosis we have divided some categories. See this symbiosis, this is disjunctive and yes, conjugative, disconjugative and conjugative. Okay, so you can see here by the help of this table. Okay, now again next we having on the independent or symbiotic interaction. Okay, now let's start with positive interaction. How? Positive means a good interaction, right. So in this type, those type of interaction are considered in which both interaction species are mutually involved to help each other, right. So it can be communalism or proto-cooperation or mutualism. Okay, mutualism. So what is communalism? This means this type of interaction occurs between two organisms of different species in which one species is benefit and other is neither benefit nor harmed. Okay, yes. Now let's talk about let's talk about next. Here we having some examples also like lineans. Okay, these are known as woody plant. You can see here this woody plant is given now. Yes, this is known as lineans. Okay, now next we having epiphytes. Epiphytes means the autotrophic plant growing on other tree on their branches by taking shelter only, and that is called epiphytes. Clear? Yes. Now next we having epizoans. What is epizoans? So some plants also live on animal in the similar way of the epiphyte. They are called epizoans, means the plant can live with the animal. Okay, now next pro-corporation. What is pro-corporation? Pro-corporation means this type of interaction where both populations are benefited but not obligated, means that is not essential for the survival of either population is called pro-corporator. Okay, and this is known as non-obligator or fluctuated mutualism. Okay, so some examples is given here, you can see. Now next we having mutualism or symbiosis. So mutualism and symbiosis means when two different species grow together and mutually benefited the plant are known as symbiosis plant. Means you can see here my dear student, this is the picture 13.25. you can see this figure. This is a crocodile. Inside that crocodile there is a word inside her mouth, but she will not she will not harm that bird, right. So in this type of symbiosis is known as mutualism. Okay, yes. Now lichens. I have already told you what is lichens. Again let's talk about it. Lichens are the group of plant which are formed by a permanent association of algae and fungi. So we having two type lichens, that is VSS of the lichen, that is thallus. Okay, yes. Now symbiotic nitrogen fixers. What is symbiotic nitrogen fixers? Means like pulse yielding plant like pea, gram, all these things, black gram, green gram, bengal gram or other members of the Papilionaceae possesses different size gland and their root is called root nodules or bacterial nodules, and root is said to be a nodulated. Clear? Yes, next we having mycorrhizia. What is mycorrhizia? It is associated, is a good example of symbiotic association. It is the symbiotic relationship of fungus with the root of any plant. Okay, it is usually observed in the root of the forest plant, example the pinus root. Yes. Now, so in this way we having many types of examples. Now this is all about the, here some example is given all about the positive interaction. You can read. Okay, now let us talk about negative interaction. What is negative interaction? Okay, so negative interaction means those interaction of two species in which both are harmed or one organism is benefited while other is more or less harmed, in referred to as negative interaction. Okay, so in this type of interaction, one population eat and other type of population, or one organism does not allow other organism to grow near. It is by using the food supply of other or producing toxic substances. Okay, so in the basis of this interaction we have divided some categories, that is competition, and next we having exploitation, now predication and antibiosis. Okay, so competition, what is that? Means when interaction occurs between two species for the use of same resources, when the resources are in a short supply, and is referred to the competition. Means they will do competition, that I will take that place and the next species will say I will take. So it is of two type, that is intraspecific or interspecific. Okay, so intraspecific competition means in this the composition is between individuals of the same species in the same area. Okay, and interspecific matlab interspecific compositions occur between the member of two different species. Okay, when the individual of different species use the same resources and those resources are in a short supply. Clear? Now exploitation is the type of interrelationship in which two species remain together and one species use the other for their shelter and support and nutrition, but harm the later in direct or indirect way. Means the nest. Yes, we having the example nest parasitism. Okay, what is nest parasitism? So in nest it is found between the cuckoos and crows. Okay, so cuckoos do not form their own nest and these lay egg in the nest of crows, and the crow incubate the egg and provided food to young ones. Clear? Yes. Now, so in this way we having many types of examples and many types of categories of plant, you can see. Now we will talk about the predication. What is predication? Is means to obtain food by hunting is predication. Means by hunting we can obtain any type of food. A predicator, predicator is an animal or a plant that killed and feed on another organism or it preys. So it represent a geneticalized carnivorous habitat. Clear? Now we having some example, you can see in this picture. Yes, this havoc at rat. Okay, so this is about also predicating. Okay, now next we having antibiosis. What is antibiosis? No, before antibiosis we having some example, that is grazing or browsing. Okay, and destruction of seeds and seedlings, means many insects, birds, other rodent and dependent upon seeds, so their satisfactory sources of food is caused heavy loss of the seed. In this way we can see. Or insectivorous plants, means those plants which obtain nitrogenous compound from the body of insect by killing them are called insectivorous plant. So we having the example, see here, this is the pitcher plant, this is the example of insectivorous, or we having many example. Okay, now the last, let us talk about the antibiosis. What is antibiosis? Antibiosis is the complete or partial inhabitat or death of one organism by the another. So through the secretion of production of some substances or environment condition, as a result their metabolism, bolisms. So antibiosis is cause animalism, which involve a type of chemical interaction by which the individual of one species affect the well-being and growth of individual of other species. For example, microcyst, an algae, right, or blue-green algae group produces a toxic substance, right. So in this way we have seen many type of adaptation of different types of organism in this chapter. Okay, so at last here is some important terms and concepts is given. You can read this is very important. So here your chapter is completed. Hope you understood. Thank you.